Hey, what's up everybody? This is my review of the Marvel Legends Avengers Infamous Iron Man action figure. Of course, this is a 6-inch scale action figure, and I picked this figure up because I like Iron Man, and I like the mashup between Iron Man and Doctor Doom, but mostly for the Iron Man aspect of it. And I think the actual character design looks really good, and that really translates over well into the actual action figure. In fact, the action figure itself looks like it was ripped directly off of the comic that it's based on, and so that is definitely cool. So before we take a close look at the figure itself, let me go ahead and talk about the accessories. Now, he does come packaged in with the two fist hands, but he does actually, there is included actually these two open palm hands with peg holes there, and in those peg holes you can insert these blast effects to get two of these actually. So you can insert those into the palm of the open palm hands. You do get these, I guess, for lack of a better term, energy or lightning effects that they go around the forearm of the actual figure. And finally, you do get the unhelmeted sculpt head of Doctor Doom. So that's pretty cool. So let me talk about the cape before I forget about it. The cape actually just is not really attached. There's no peg holes to attach it to. It's just held in there by friction. So if you're just having it sit on the shelf, it's fine. It holds in decently with friction. But if you start moving the figure around, ultimately it's going to fall off. So that's kind of annoying. I will say the cape, because it's a pretty solid piece of plastic, it does hold the figure up and helps the figure stand. So that's good. The actual sculpt of the cape is really nice. And in terms of packaging, the cape did come packaged in a separate tray. This is the tray right here. And so there wasn't anything where you had to pull the cape through a slit like we had to do in the past. And I think Hasbro has been doing this more often, because I've seen another figure with a cape that they did have the separate tray for the cape, so you didn't have to pull it through a slit. So that's nice. So let me go ahead and put the cape back on, and we'll take a look at Iron Man here, or Infamous Iron Man, in detail. Well, actually, let me go ahead and pull the cape off, and you can see the back detail here on the sculpt, which is really nice. Obviously, you don't see that with the sculpt on there. Well, you don't see the sculpt with the cape on, sorry. So yeah, pretty nice color combination too, with the green, the iconic Doctor Doom green color with his hood and his cape, and some green here on the inner thigh, on the knees, and on the feet here. So that's pretty cool. Let me go ahead and actually leave the cape off and talk about articulation. As it is, the head rotates around as you'd expect. As such, you get articulation here at the shoulders, of course. Of course, they rotate around, but it doesn't appear that they actually will. Well, they actually do. Just a little bit up and down at the shoulder joint itself. Swivel there at the bicep there. You got the double joint at the elbow, and the hands themselves just peg in there into the arm. So you do get a rotation there at the wrist. There is ab articulation there, all the way back like that, all the way forward like that. A swivel cut here at the waist. Legs, of course, can go forward and back. Not back so far, but forward like that. Out to the side that far. Swivel there at the thigh. Double joint at the knee. And then you have articulation here. Of course, at the ankle like that. And pivot like that. So pretty good articulation there. Let me go ahead and pop off the head and put on the unarmored head. Alright, so here is the head on the ball joint. It actually probably is just barely on there, because I did have a lot of difficulty even getting the head on this far. I think the ball socket, there's more room for the ball joint to go into the ball socket. That's as far as I can get it in. For some reason this is not cooperating. But it seems like if I put back on the helmeted head, there doesn't seem to be that issue. Yeah, see, it pops right in. It's not going to fall off. But All right, so here is Infamous Iron Man with his energy effects installed. You can see the lightning effects on his forearm, and then the blast effects on coming out of the palm of his hand. Of course, I switched out the hands that have the peg hole that allow you to plug in these two beam effects. So you can see it looks pretty cool. So one thing to note about the hood here is it actually is permanently attached to this particular head sculpt. So you can't really, I mean, I guess you could detach it, but it's not really meant to detach and to be placed on the unhelmeted head. So at least as far as I can tell, I mean, it's not wanting to come off like it's meant to come off. It's going to come off if you tear it off maybe, but I think it's glued on there or something like that. So just to be aware of that. So it looks odd if you don't have the cape on, just to have a hood like that. And also you don't really have the option to have the unhelmeted head sculpt with the hood because like I said, the hood is attached permanently to the helmeted head sculpt. All right, well, thank you for watching. This has been Lycus 1985, and I'll catch you guys and gals later.